All right. Now we're straight. Back again. It just wouldn't be right if I hadn't shared the video that I have produced earlier. But again, happy days. Good afternoon. Good evening. My name is Reverend Dr. Antonio Arnold, aka Beast Mode Airborne, and I thank each and every one of you for watching my video, watching on YouTube, TikTok, and all other social media platforms, including Facebook and Instagram, Twitter as well. I'm back again to talk about my story that happened on November 2nd. November 2nd. Many of you guys know me or know of me. Once knew me before and now knowing me again. Amen. I wanted to share my testimonial to you, a little bit about myself. And let me do this real quick. First of all, I got to stand up. Make sure everything's still working. Well, everything's still working. I still can stand up. I still can turn. I still can lift my left arm, right arm, extended and going, back, parade rest, tension. I still can do that. Not, it's not not to say that I still cannot feel pressure, to know that, hey, it's healing. But this, what I'm about to share with you, gives me a quality of life as if it's been totally healed. Okay? And then, again, about myself, I served, of course, you see my Air Force hat. Served 3.5 years in Red Horse as a civil engineer specialist. Okay? I wanted to be an engineer anyway. I went to college for engineering, electrical engineering. And I wanted to do something different. After 9/11, I wanted to serve. The Army said it wouldn't let me serve in the commission capacity that I wanted to. So I said, you know what? I'm going to serve, retire my highest rank. I'm going as enlisted again and to serve in the Air Force through the Air National Guard at Virginia Beach, Virginia, Red Horse, 203rd Red Horse Squadron. Served a little bit of time, 192nd Wing, 192nd Fighter Wing, when I was going to prepare for school, for technical school. And there was a wait because I couldn't serve in the horse until I'm about to ready to go to technical school. All right. And I served with some great individuals in the 192nd Fighter Wing. I believe it's reorganized now. They got F-22s and serving and working with the active duty components. So that's good. That's pretty interesting to go from F-16s to F-22s, and then you're working with active duty component pilots and maybe some reserve pilots, if any. But as far as the fighter wing goes and protecting the Eastern Seaboard, I mean, these guys are top-notch individuals. So, but I also have served in the Army side of the house, active duty, Army Reserve as well. And, of course, started my career as an infantry soldier, then infantry lieutenant, airborne qualified, got out, returned back into the Army for civil affairs specialist, but I also brought along my MOS, my AFSC through the Air Force. So if you transfer for another branch of service, see if you can get your prior service specialty code credit and transfer as a secondary MOS, because you've already been joint trained in some of the best schools with other branches, because everybody's in the same school together. So that would be such a waste of all that experience that you can use for the Army or Air Force or Marine if you don't let the people know, hey, here's my transcript, everything I've done, here's all my certifications. So I encourage you to do that. But I did serve in the Army. So I got awarded combat engineer for the plumber side of my AFSC. It's right here, so they'll get that clear. So somebody say, have you been up to Northern Virginia for training? No. I was at Shepherd Air Force Base with other combat engineers from the Army and quartermaster water treatment. And then my other branch, civil affairs. Okay, so I get all that out the way. But what leads me here is I'm a disabled veteran. I'm 100%, as you already know. Many of you know me for years for suffering through back pains, neck pains, and so forth. I have a stenosis in my neck. I've been diagnosed when I was on jump status at Fort Bragg. I don't know why this thing keep doing that. Have some technical issues. But anyway, I have the opportunity to transfer back into the Army after 3.5 years in a horse. Of course, I was lifting my back. My lower back issue started when I was in a horse. We did a lot of heavy lifting, heavy equipment. I mean, the Air Force, Red Horse are not lazy people. I'm going to hear that. I'm going to say that again. Air Force, Red Horse are not lazy people. Don't you dare call us lazy, especially Red Horse. We'll show you who's lazy. All right? And, that's sitting in a chairborne or a chair force. That's ridiculous, to look at us that way. If it weren't for us, the pilots would not be flying, and you wouldn't get that air support that you need. So be humble. But anyway, back to what I was saying. I was thinking, because when I was in the Air Force, that's when I started experiencing low back problems. Sprained my right leg during an operations for humanitarian operation down in New Orleans. When you remember, everybody forgot. I don't know if you remember, back 20 years ago, September 20 years ago, New Orleans was hit with a massive Category 5 hurricane. We were mobilized. We were already packed up, ready to go, and I was called back to base for Hurricane Katrina duty. Okay, operations Red Cardinal, and was then Title 10 active duty federalized by the president. Everybody know who he was. So, done a lot of stuff there. Had some back issues, tore my back up a little bit, and even got contaminated. And thankfully to be to God that I'm not showing signs of contamination or sickness as a result. But the experience done me some good. It changed my whole outlook on life, even from downrange to even home deployment. It's just as important and just as relative as the one downrange. I don't care what anybody say. So, fast forward to the Army, to Civil Affairs. Went to Civil Affairs School up in Fort Dix, New Jersey. Came back ready to roll, ready to deploy to Iraq or Afghanistan. Got back on jump status, jumping out of planes. Wonderfully made aircraft, not perfectly made, but wonderfully made aircraft for missions. Have crashed and burned a few times. Didn't think nothing of. My whole purpose was to get my 20 years and move forward. And then one day I ran my best run, and then both of my legs collapsed. I lost total use of both of my legs for a moment. I laid on complete concrete. Unfortunately, my wife saw me. She was out there doing PT as well, and she saw me on the ground and had me help. Then I had to hurry up, contact my commander, and contact my unit and let them know, hey guys, I'm going to the hospital. Went out to the Clark Clinic finally, and then they did an X-ray on my back. Come to find out, I have some issues in my spine. Man, it's kind of hard. I didn't think it would be this hard. Anyway, so I can't jump anymore. It didn't make me non-deployable, but it may put me at risk for deployments. Couldn't jump anymore. I like doing it because I wanted to do my foreign jump wings. Toy job is coming up around this time, November. So with that, they did X-ray, did MRIs. Come to find out, I have stenosis in my neck. I have stenosis, protruding disc in my lower back, L4, L5, L3, L4, and the upper portion of between my two shoulders too, and my ribs are pretty much messed up. Not a good thing to tell your soldiers, who love his country. But I press on. It got worse. the pain on my right leg, shooting down my right leg, got worse. It becomes hard to work. Thank God I have a job that's totally administrative, where I could just sit behind the desk and put a cushion there and do my job. Okay, still, I've been put on profile. I had profiles. I have sick call slips that gave me some time for surgery. Had the surgeries at Walter Reed Army Medical Center at Washington, D.C., if I understand it. No, at Arlington, either Arlington or Washington, D.C., I can't remember. It's right off German Road. But anyway, they treated me very good. They gave me some great service. They gave my wife some excellent service. They had a place where the spouse can stay. It's like an apartment or hotel. Totally luxurious, very beautiful. I love the furniture. They treated her like gold. I have no complaints against Walter Reed or the Department of the Army in respect to that location. Fort Bragg did me well too. I mean, but they did a good job on the surgery. On the way home, the pain was excruciating. The healing process was totally excruciating. 30 days later, I returned to duty. No longer on jump status, just doing my job. I had a permanent profile later on, which I can't do sit-ups no anymore, no run, no push-ups. All I can do is walk, which is fine. So I've done that. Still passed the PT test. And later on, transferred to 80th Training Command, which is my old reserve command. When I was young, it used to be called 80th Division Infantry Training. It was still infantry training, but it's attached with other units now, which they totally changed the organization, a whole different organization that I knew when I was in my early 20s. But anyway, I still performed for duty, report for duty, did other trainings, had the opportunity to travel to Texas 2 or 3 times, number of times. I can't remember. It was San Antonio, Texas, but it was like near the Air Force basic training base. But anyway, I would spend time there. Still have a problem with my back. Still going to see my primary care physician. This after surgery, mind you. Then one day, I was walking with a load of clothes, and my legs collapsed again on the steps. Okay? Excruciating pain. Fell directly on my knees. My back acted up again, and I was in pain. My pain lasted over 20-something years. Talk about 20-something years, or over 20 years of pain and no relief. You take all sorts of medication, oxycodone, Tylenol, then you upgrade to pregabalin or gravitin, I don't know how to pronounce it, but it's something like that. And you try all sorts of medication that's in my record. Of course, I filed for disability too while I was on active duty, make sure I was locked in. After again coming off active duty. But I have a goal. I want to become an Army chaplain, finish my Master of Religious Education, finish my Master of Theological Studies. I was ready and qualified to become a chaplain. At this point, my back was at its worst. Even after surgery, it was becoming a struggle to perform. The Army said that because I was twice non-selected as an infantry lieutenant in the past when I was already out, that I couldn't qualify for chaplaincy. Even though I was ecclesiastically endorsed, even though I was accepted to the Army chaplaincy through the Army Chaplaincy Corps, and I had a battalion commander waiting for me. That didn't happen. I was ready to go to Afghanistan, go to South Carolina, go to school, and go to South Carolina, and finish 3 or 4 years and just retire and try to pursue the best I can. But God has other things to do for me, so I was able to be later on, after discharge, still going to the VA, still dealing with back pains and sciatic nerve, and I mean, to the point sometimes I can't even walk, and then it goes back again. Every so often. I don't know about you guys, but how do you feel when every now and then? And my story is gonna be different because I think about it because I can't remember everything. I got other issues too, but. How you feel you wake up every morning, you don't know which morning you're going to wake up in excruciating pain. Or wake up in the middle of the night because you're screaming hard because your neck feels like twisting off. And then you can't stand on it. And you can't even walk to the bathroom. even with a walker. That's why the Army gave me a walker. That's why I got a stand-up walker and another walker. A friend of mine identified. I can't think of the name of it. But anyway, he's a veteran too. I had a chance to fellowship at church tonight for our dinner, and had a wonderful time. And they were looking at me in amazement. It's a miracle because they've seen me before, but I'm getting ahead of myself. So I got a chance, back to what I was talking about, to serve as a hospital chaplain for 3.5 years, even with my condition. Served in the Department of Justice as a federal officer in the Department of Bureau of Prison. Done that for 3.5 years as well, even with my condition. And on the same timeline, I don't know too many people could do what I do. I need to pull this down. In the same timeline, I served as pastor. Got called in as pastor at the Presbyterian church. You know, at that time I was already had my small church I was trying to build. Already served in a number of ministries, and even through my back issues, I suffered it to be so. And some Sundays I can't make it, and some Sundays I do. I'm limited in what I do. I sit still. I won't move, and I have my wife help me back to my truck or car. But that's my reality for my military service, serving the community. I always volunteer to help. I serve in other fraternal organizations. We made food donation, delivered toys. I even delivered toys for my church as a pastor to deserving children. I have brought toys to homeless shelters that are now closed now for women to have, so their children have some toys for the something to look forward to, some sign of hope. I've done a lot of things, a lot of stuff I just can't remember right offhand. But a lot of people who know me remember what I've done, and they don't. That's fine too. But yeah, through it all, it was over years of pain, years of days. Okay, well, and then the worst of all, about a year ago, June of last year, a lift and my left shoulder locked up after I had my foot surgery, because I had foot surgery too. So, I mean, think about this. Umbilical hernia surgery, emergency hernia surgery, foot surgery, toe surgery, neck surgery, 2 neck surgery, 1 surgery and then emergency surgery, 2 back surgeries on top of that. And then hundreds of procedures where they had to go inside my spine and put either medicine in it, or they have to burn nerves. That's pretty much, I know it's too graphic, but to let you know that, they had to put the mask on. They had to, I could be paralyzed if the one wrong move. That's how the situation is. Then diabetes came in too, so that's another story. But anyway, last year my shoulders got bad. I can't lift it, can't move it. I had tingling from my right leg, tingling needles, and numbness on my right hand. Couldn't hardly move it. I lost strength in my right hand and my right arm. My left arm. Lost, and it's not a fun feeling, guys, going through all this. And then the VA, like, we don't know what to do with you, or nobody really take up to say, I need an MRI, guys. That's the only way you can find out what's going on. I demanded an MRI. So orthopedics finally ordered the MRI, got the MRI done. Yeah, Mr. Arnold, you got some issues. You could be paralyzed on your left side if you don't get this surgery. And that's from stenosis. I already have 2 of the sides and back. So when you hear the word stenosis, think about it's pretty bad. And it's either C1, C2, C3 to C4, C4 to C5, or T1, which will get around your shoulders. Up and down is bad. But the worst part is with the focus. So, fast forward now. And here's after I had my toe surgery. About a month later, I had another surgery, and that was at my neck. It was necessary. Couldn't do this, couldn't do none of this stuff. It hurt so bad. And then it was frozen too. It's a frozen arm. All the muscle tissue. There's nothing they could do about it. They told me that. There's nothing they could do about this. All they could do is medicate me. I don't want that. I don't. I don't want to depend on medication. I don't want to be a drug addict and then mess up my kidneys or my liver. So what happened was I finally got lined up for surgery. Surgery was last month. They went in, took a bone out, put some titanium in, sealed it up, put a tube in it to drain it, whatever. And they did a good job. I mean, I admit that. And they fed me well in the hospital. Come by within a few days, I got to go back because it swelled up. It was a lot of fluid was building up, and I couldn't breathe. It was choking me. It was just closing me up. It was just closing me up. And even with a CPAP on, I just couldn't breathe. So the hospital admitted me from the emergency room, sent me straight to intensive care. I was in ICU for almost about 3 days. And within that 3 days, the next day I had emergency surgery. I went back inside my neck, checked to make sure this tighten this up because they wanted to be comfortable that it was not going to come loose. And nature had to take its course as far as bone building up around it. And then they had to make sure they got rid of all this stuff in here and to shrink it down. And then they closed it up, and that was that. Okay? So I was able to breathe a little better. My voice was definitely changed. My sore throat came to an end, like I had a rod in it. And they did an excellent job once again. You know, I'm very pleased with the surgeons at McGuire VA Medical Center. I'll definitely say that. But I still have issues, you know, because they told me, you know, it's not going to be a cure-all for your neck, but at least you won't be paralyzed. So I'd rather take a little bit of inconvenience with neck pain than to be paralyzed and still have excruciating pain on the left side. Okay? Did anybody understand what I'm saying? If you understand, if you go through it yourself, you understand my story. So, about a few days later, after discharge from ICU and then regular room, and like I said, I ate good, was able to swallow, had to get used to eating and swallowing again. And then, of course, I had another emergency. My sciatic nerve, right at my L3 this time, right above where I had the surgery, about up here, right here, sound off. First, my right leg twisted like somebody, it pulsated, the muscle was contracting. It was doing its own thing in a major way, and I had no control of it. It was excruciating pain you wouldn't want your dog to go through. You know, it's like you about to twist a bone off, or the bone, your leg get caught up in the machine and twist it off. That's the kind of pain I'm talking about. Couldn't walk, couldn't stand, couldn't sit up. It hurt so bad to sit up in bed. It hurt so bad to even move. My wife rushed me to the hospital, but it was a dog to get in the car, to stand. It took about, I don't know, maybe almost a half hour just to get, or maybe 45 minutes. Didn't have my walker, had my cane. It was just like, I'm having trouble standing up. Rushed to the emergency room that Saturday. I think it was that Wednesday. I can't remember right offhand, but Sheila does. So, in the emergency room, they drugged me up, gave me medications, you know, pill form to drink orally, and then hope for the best. And then they released me. They contacted the surgeon to make sure my neck was straight from the previous surgery. But I have a major issue on that area too, so I don't know how I'm going to approach this. I know I got a nerve test coming up to check my spinal cord and make sure it's working properly, and some ultrasound to make sure I got blood flow. It could be underlying something is very bad, it's about to erupt. I don't know, but it hurt. I couldn't walk even after coming back from the emergency room and so forth. It was hard. It was hard. I was getting to a desperate mode to despair. It was hard though. Got home, trying to go to sleep, trying to go to bed, taking medication, the ritual. I just don't want to get out of bed. And it was painful. Very painful. So, that nerve pain is no joke. That was the kind of pain I had when I was at Fort Bragg with my L3 and L4, and then the S1, and then before the 2 surgeries. It was like I'm reliving it all over again. So, after that, return home again. There's nothing more they can do. What more can they do? Another surgery within a short period of time? I don't think so. It might work. It may not work. We don't know. As long as it's not critical against my spinal cord, they may not do a thing. But we'll find out. So, 2 days later, which is that Friday, thank God I made it to it. Got a call from a friend. Hadn't heard from a while. And he would tell me, "Wait, we got these patches that can help you. And these patches will help you with your pain." I'm like, "No way, man." And I gave him a hard time because I was pretty much at the point of, I don't care. I can't remember accurately what I said. And I may have said a lot. I may have said some words I'm not sure of. My wife tell me when I speak about my story it's a little inconsistent because I can't remember everything I said. So let's put it this way. I didn't want to hear what he had to say. I don't want to join anything. I don't want to do any telemarketing or network marketing, or even if the stuff is a miracle stuff that will take away pain. I didn't care at that point. I can't remember what else I thought about it. But nevertheless, in the end, he made a commitment to me. I'll meet you halfway. I didn't want to spend any money either. But he said he'll meet me halfway, to get what I need and then try it out and see what happens. I said, I'll give you a 30-day trial. We'll try it for 30 days and see what happens. If nothing happened those 30 days, I tried one already for a whole year and did nothing for me. And we're going to try this one for 30 days. If it does nothing, then I'll just let you know, and that'll be the end of that. Okay? So I order the product. It arrived that Sunday after church. Church served. I was sitting right here. Right in this couch. It came in. Sheila picked it up the box, opened it, and it was some of these packages right here. It's called super packs, something like that. And a whole bunch of stuff for all different needs. Till we opened it, me using it. So, whole box came in full of stuff. And I said, honey, and I'm a technologist anyway. I said, honey, go ahead and mount my phone, turn it on camera mode. We're going to record this. And if it works, fine, the world will see it. If it don't work, the world will know it. Okay? And I'm going to put it on social media. It better work. That's how I felt about it. That's what I said to myself. So, what I've done, I gotta be careful not to lean too far ahead. You don't want to agitate something. I would be screaming by now, to be honest with you. So, my wife launched the video on Facebook. No, we launched the video just regular recording first. That's the first thing we did, day one. And I stood up, and I had to stand up. She asked me to stand up. I'm like, Lord have mercy, I do not want to stand up. Oh, Lord, it's going to hurt like heck. It's going to make me, I'm going to scream. I feel like screaming. I kept as much scream out of as possible. It hurts. At that point, I have to say, ouch. It's good enough to put tears in your eyes, I'm telling you. So I was grabbing hold of the walker, and I pushed down to lock the brakes, and good God, this moment I moved, man, that nerve and that pain and everything on it. And I usually have pain all over my body. I got pain on every extremity, every joint you can think of. Even up to my skull, it hurts. So, trust me, I know about pain. If you're going through it, you know my story. So I struggled to stand up. And because it hurt so bad, I can't hardly walk. I barely do not want to walk. I just lost interest in walking. And it hurt so bad, I had to, I'm like, Lord, please, cry on the Lord. And so Sheila explained the product, the patch, and it was the Freedom Patch that we tried. And the Freedom Patch looked like this. Okay? And there's like one more information about it. Just get with Sheila and myself, and Sheila will send you a link. From the way you see it. Any other fun strategy point, it's not even FDA, it's not FDA, it's not food or drug. That's the freaky part about this thing. It's not even food or drug, It's not even a drug. But it's registered with the Federal Drug Administration, Food and Drug Administration. Now, why would they register with Food and Drug Administration? It's not even a drug. I guess it's for credibility, but anyway, this is how it looks like. I mean, the part right here, once you peel it off, it's clear. That's how it looks like when it's, and you put it on your arm, you can put it on your back of your shoulder. The main thing is the signal to the brain, okay? So you can put it right here behind your neck or right behind over your shoulder, and it'll work just fine. So this is what I use, to be honest with you. Okay? I use 2 patches. Now, some people don't have pain at a pain level that's even nowhere even close to mine. Some of you may have pain that exceeded mine. But I'm here to tell you guys, I'm not giving out any advice or anything like that. I'm just telling my story. And then after she put these patches on me, then she said, I'm going to put these victory patches on you. And victory is for athletic performance. Like you want to compete. I mean, it gives you strength. So she gave me these. I said, go ahead and put it on. Then she put on the Liberty patch. It keeps me moving. It keeps me balanced. So I won't flip and fall. So she put that on. So she put freedom, liberty, and victory. Those 3 patches, okay? I was standing up right over there with my walker in excruciating pain. Worst pain ever. And I get those once in a blue moon. And this one right here takes the cake too. So, that's why I'm at the point now I can't do a lot. I'm not serving as a pastor anymore. I'm not I'm preaching in my own way, but I'm not preaching like in the office of pastor right now. No, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. Can't do that, man. Unless you're going to wheel me in a wheelchair and wheel me up on the pulpit and then give me a microphone, put a microphone in in front of me, and that will be it. But I'm not going to get up. I'm not going to tell you to stand up. I'm not going to do all that sort of thing. No, I can't. I'm not going to deal with that. If I aggregate my injuries or sickness to make it worse. So no sooner after the patch was on, less than 5 minutes. Okay, 5 minutes. I mean, now think about this. If you talk to a guy who had sciatic nerve issues, where your muscles are twitching on its own, on his right leg, and sometimes on your arms, and the pain is so high, and even when the pain settled out to 5 or 15 minutes, it's still moving on its own. You have no control over it. It could happen on here, or here. And that tells me my spinal cord is in crisis. All right? That's all I know. So after she put the patch on me, for less than 5 minutes, I look up, and I'm going to show you my expression. I look up, waiting for something miraculous to happen. Well, it did happen. The pain was dying down quick. And that's when and it's like something is correcting itself. Chi was correcting itself, that's for sure. And that'll be another story, but it was correcting itself. The body, the skin was correcting itself. Everything was working. The pain was coming to an end. I have strength. And I said, okay, I'm going to back away from this walker. I'm going to stand up straight just to see first. Because if I stand up straight, it's going to put that nerve on that bone on that nerve. Did you know it did nothing? I felt no pain. I felt very little to no pain at all. Maybe some soreness, but it just disappeared. I couldn't explain it. And then I backed away from the walker, and nothing happens. And so, okay, so far so good. So far so good. So I decided to, maybe if I move around, let's see what happens when I move around. So I walked around in circles. No issue with that. I said, wow, this is crazy. We're onto something really big here. This is amazing. This invention is amazing. So I walked down the hallway and do some marching step. I said, let's see if I can still march and step. I marched and step. Now, it's not enough to say you walk 2 miles or 5 miles. It ain't going to happen. I'm telling you that right now. But at least itching to the front door, and then I march back. Now, my wife asked me to sit down on that very same couch I struggle to stand up on, which is very aggravating. I mean, thank God it's soft and it has a massager and heat. But she asked me to stand up, and I stood up. And back up a little bit. So I stood up like this. I would not be able to do that without those 3 patches right there. I would not be able to do anything without those 3 patches. Okay? I wouldn't be able to turn around or even move like this, because you're twisting your spine when you're doing this. You're doing this, you're moving, you're still moving around. Let me stand up. There you go. Stand up again. Walking. I'm a living miracle. You think? And I I give it all to God, to Jesus Christ Himself, because this thing is real. And you can touch somebody's mind to come up with something like this. I consider this God's favor. And with my wife, and I told the guy, I will be your biggest advocate if this thing works on me. Because I always thought of myself having the worst bit of pain, the worst of everything. And I see guys with that pain, but it's not that bad. They can still do all sorts of things. My brother, he played football, basketball, and still he get on a bike or you get on a bike, indoor bike, and just pedal away with the screen going. And he said, I got back pains too. So you don't have nowhere near what I have, brother. But anyway, let's talk about this real quick. The freedom patch. I took my glasses, I'm putting it back on. I wouldn't be able to do what I'm doing. But this is what the freedom patch does. The freedom patch is designed for immediate pain relief. So if you want immediate pain relief, there's this big red patches right here. You want to enhance blood flow. Oh, my blood pressure is very good, to be honest with you. I'm not making any claims, but my blood pressure has definitely improved. Faster recovery. Oh, yes, indeed. Oh, yes, indeed. Faster recovery. If you don't believe me, where'd she put it? I had a neck brace earlier. I was wearing a neck brace. Big improvement. Faster, let's see, improved natural healing. Well, that goes without saying. Swelling is going down, getting smaller. My neck is tightening up too. Which is interesting. I don't have that fat neck. Good little chub right there. But that's about it. I said, man, a few weeks ago, if you see my pictures on Facebook, go and look at my previous day. Just scroll down and you'll see how I looked before surgery, during surgery, after surgery, and you'll get the point. But this freedom is for immediate pain, blood flow, and quick healing. The other one, the victory, it enhanced athletic performance, more power, more strength, more balance. Oh yeah, stability. I need balance and stability. I would not be able to walk in my church home right now without a cane and a walker. if it weren't for this package right here. So it does make improvements in this regard. More agility, enhanced neuron function, enhanced HRV, whatever that means. Reduce inflammation. Reduce inflammation reduction is very important to me as someone who's been through surgery or had a sciatic nerve attack, which could inflame, cause inflammation in the bone and the nerves, and the inflammation has gone down. I could tell significantly. It was pretty much spread out wide open when that thing attacked me prior to the arrival of these packages. Okay. Let's see what else. Better range of motion, which I do have. Enhanced neuropathy, relief, and faster recovery. And guess what, guys? I definitely can say faster recovery. I just got to do this crazy stuff, Just got to be mindful of that. Not bad for a 60-year-old male. And then let's talk about liberty. Liberty. So liberty, this one here gives me more energy, more strength, of course, more balance and stability. So I won't trip and fall. Reduce inflammation, of course, better range of motion, faster recovery, higher neurology, which deals with the spine. Homeostasis, and healthy aging. And I definitely need that. Do you think my healthy age is improving? You think I got healthy age? Please leave a comment. And like, share, and subscribe. But now I'm taking other things that help me with my overall wellness health. And like I said, people who know me, see me struggle every day. I mean, my church family saw me who I was at December last year when I started fellowshipping with them. And a lot of people who know me through the Army and Air Force, all the people who know me through the years, and even on Facebook, my families, I am different now. And I owe it all to these patches, super patch. Okay? That's what I owe it to. You have to make up your own mind. I'll share my testimony. There's a lot of more films out there that's sharing testimony. People who are really chronically having to overcome some difficulties. And they're doing very well, according to what I have seen. And I'm here to tell you, within less than 5 minutes, my life has changed. I'm a supporter of it. I don't know what going to be my destiny as far as that goes. Sheila is in charge, and she's in the front gate, so you contact her. I'm just the guy behind the scene that support her with the technical stuff, especially the computers and marketing. But that's as far as I go. But yeah, if you really want to know about this company, you get with her, get with me. I'll send you the information about the company, the breakdown. Please read it thoroughly. All right. Please don't ask me what ingredients it is where it has no ingredients. I get some clinical people, and I love my clinical folks, but I used to work in a clinical environment as a chaplain. But this is not about the clinician or pharmaceutical. This has nothing to do with it. It's registered. It's FDA registered. That's about it. You're going to bring a non-drug. You're going to register nothing that has nothing to do with food, nothing to do with drugs, and register it. I mean, that says a lot about your integrity, but waste of money. But anyway, that's just my opinion. I mean, but you want to show, how we say, integrity. So that I can understand that. So, guys, get with Sheila, message her, message me, or message Sheila on Facebook, or call her and say, hey, you want to know more information? She'll send you the information. Then you make up your own decision. And if you want to be patched, so you can say, I mean, I know people in a hurry. So if you do come, you get patched and go home. If you actually want to experience, share your experience. We love to video people who share their experience and say, we're going to record, tell us about your experience. And you too. Some people do. We have one who did. But you put that patch on, I'm not going to guarantee anything, but you're going to change the way you think. I'm here to tell you guys. You're going to see something. You're going to feel something significant happen to your body, and your body's going to talk to you, and they're going to say, "Hey, I'm all right." All right, and it may not be 100% all right, maybe 1,000% all right, but but it's going to be all right. All right? You'll be able to walk just like I do today. I couldn't do it, she used to walk with a limp, like you think she's popping or pimping, Like what you trying to be cool for? And she walking because that's her knees hurt and her hip hurts. And I got bursitis on both of my hips too. So I got a lot of bone stuff. If I breathe, that pain side in there would go off. I'm breathing and talking to you with no sign, no symptoms or anything. No reaction. So I tell you, that's how powerful this thing is. I see great things with this company, the Super PAC company. I see a lot of great opportunities for people to get well. I see a lot of great opportunities for, especially this time of year where the government shutdown is in play and people looking for a chance to earn some money or an opportunity to have something to build on. So anyway, guys, I just wanted to share a few things about the Super PAC, and company, and the wonderful things that it has. They do have a back office for customers, so you can communicate or you can place your orders. Of course, it's going to be a little cheaper too when you're on a subscription, which is be better price point wise for you, if you know what I mean. And it's even better when you buy different packages you can take advantage of based on your needs through the associate program, where you can start a distribution business with this. I mean, it's up to you. Yeah, we can all complain about the economy. We can all complain about who and blame who. We can all complain about, hey, I'm on furlough and I've been to work today and I know I ain't gonna get paid. You get their back pay. We've been through this before. You'll get your back pay. I've been furloughed. Not furloughed, but I've been one of the soldiers that didn't get paid for 3 months. So I understand very well. My wife too. And that's okay. When that buddy comes, it's right on time. So anyway, guys, I just want to thank you once again for watching this video. As you can see, I move. I am not cured because I still have, only Jesus could do that, to re-heal the bones and regrow them. I mean, my ligaments and joints are still the same, but the pain is at a minimal, if not gone. I got motion, mobility. I can't do no martial arts, but that's about it. That's fine too, as long as I can get around. I'm 60 years old. I ain't trying to prove nothing to anybody. But anyway, guys, thank you so much. Heather, thank you for watching. Anyone who's looking for pain relief, and I know you out there, if you don't come out and try these patches, then you made a decision, just like anyone else. Your decision is up to you. You can either try the patch for free. Just walk up, say, Tony, I want to try this one patch. I mean, I'm not going to mail it. I'm just going to, you just come by my home office. It's like, bam, there it is. Have a good day. I'm not going to hold you up. I'm here for the patch. Okay. Are you in pain? Don't come. Okay. You're in pain. You're agitated. Let me give you some peace. So I'm going to put some peace on you. I'm going to put some patch on you. I'm going to put some freedom on you. I'm going to put some liberty on you and see how you feel. Now, if you turn around and come back like, man, I feel great. What do I need to do? That's great. We'll go from there. If it doesn't do a thing for you, well, thank you for coming. And I mean, maybe it doesn't work for everybody. I'm not going to push that, but everybody's different. I tried a patch, a different kind of company, for a whole 1 year, and it did absolutely nothing for me. It did. I witnessed it help other people. Okay, and I'm not talking about prescription patches, but infrared and other patches. There's hundreds of them out there. So I'm just letting you know. It may work for you. It may not work for you. But you try. You don't know that until you try for yourself. Well, I ain't going to put that thing on me. Well, that's a decision. But don't block the blessings from other people who need a blessing. If Jesus would have showed up and looked exactly like me and he said, come, let me help you. What you going to do? I'm just going to put my hands on you. Man, don't you put your hands on me. Are you going to refuse the gift of the blessing, especially if you're a King of Kings, Lord of Lords come back? Or are you going to say, I'm open-minded, let's give it a try? I'll leave that to you. In the meantime, and always dream time. My name is Reverend Dr. Antonio Arnold. I'm a disabled veteran who's been in a lot of pain, who can't do no backflips and cartwheels, but can tell you a story how your pain can be diminished or limited. Watch my story over and over again. Share it. Like and subscribe. I appreciate your support. I appreciate you contact my wife and support her and those of you who know us. And, in the meantime, guys, I wish you all a blessed and wonderful night, because this is Reverend Dr. Antonio Arnold, a.k.a. Beast Mode Airborne, signing off. God bless you and may have a smile upon you. Everyone out.